Right? Like, you better go on a date or something.
My name is Brenton Lee. We're going to be actually doing a lot more styling and cutting today. Richard has a couple sets he's going to show you guys. I have a couple sets I'm going to show you guys, and also just a little bit of haircut. I just opened my salon this past January at Brenton Lee Salon in South Pasadena. So if you guys ever want to come by, please come through. We host a lot of education for students, professionals, hands-on education. So my collection this year, actually I came out with the collection last year, was the Lego collection. So this year is the Lego collection revamped. Okay, Legos, what can you do with those things?
You build.
You build, cool. Create. Connect. Disconnect. Blocks and panels of color, right? When you actually think of the individual Legos. Okay, so go to the next one. All those things, build, create, blocks, panels of color, connect, disconnect. I feel like all those things is what we can do with build hairstyles. You can create, you can blocks and panels of color as far as color goes, connected haircuts, disconnected haircuts, right? So that's pretty much the inspiration behind my collection, my DVD, and then pretty much what we're doing this weekend. So build and create, okay? Cool different shapes in hairstyling. Okay, next. We said blocks and panels of color. Alright? And this is stuff I love doing and I love teaching. And if I can do this stuff all day in the salon, I would. Okay, keep going. Disconnected haircuts. Okay? You see how it's a little tighter on the sides and then just a little disconnected from the top? Okay, disconnected haircuts. Keep going. Okay, that's the salon there. So this is a salon. It's a pretty nice salon. Okay? Right now we have 14 hairdressers. Earlier this year we started off with just 3 of us. So it's been a crazy, crazy year. We've just been growing and growing. We're all about education. We host classes every single week. If you work at the salon, it's mandatory. You have to be in class every single Tuesday morning from 9 to 12. The salon is closed. And so the same thing, we like to inspire each other with our class, and then we do the same thing for the public. Students, you guys come out and take some classes too. Richard has a cool set over here. So Richard, why don't you explain just what we started doing and then what you're going to do, and then I'll get into this haircut. Everybody, this is Richard here. He's a stylist at the salon. Hello, and that's Deandra over there. Everybody say, hey Richard. Hey Richard. Richard say, hey Booze. Hey Booze. And that's Deandra. Everybody say, hey Deandra. Hey Deandra. Alright, cool. Go ahead, Rich.
So, left the crown of the head out and we set it with a 1-inch barrel or half-inch barrel, and we pulled everything back tight, turn around, kind of twisted it and twirled it and created this little bun here. And so what I think I'm going to do is just kind of work with the texture that it already has and create volume. And so we already got texture in it, so I'm just going to build.
Alright, cool. This is my cut model, so I'm going to do a haircut on her. And you don't want to cut really any length off. So today is more just kind of doing like a dry cut. Okay, kind of going in and cutting really, really deep with our shears, getting a lot of texture. I'm using a 7-inch shear, okay, so that I can really go in deep and cut a lot of texture in it. So really what I'm going to be focusing on today as I'm cutting is more showing a few techniques, okay, to keep cutting hair. I feel like you can always learn a haircut. Right? You can always learn a haircut, but if you don't know the foundation and just the basic techniques of cutting hair, then you really can't get nowhere. Okay, so we're going to kind of take a few steps back and really break down some techniques as far as sectioning, as far as our finger angles, as far as how we're holding our shears, and even just closing and opening our shears, okay? So this is our model. Everybody say, hey Maggie.
Hey Maggie.
Okay, so first what I'm going to do is start off in her fringe. Alright, so this is how I love to section out the fringe. Okay, you just place your comb on top of the head and leave it there and tell it don't move so it can balance. No, I'm just kidding. So when you put the comb on top of the head, there's 2 points where the comb leaves the head. Okay, 2 points. Here in the back and then here in the front, right? Okay, so where the comb leaves the head in the front at natural fall, that's all considered her fringe section. So I'm going to kind of put my finger there And then this point is going to pivot to about the outside of each eyebrow. This is all at natural fall, her fringe section. You see what I mean? Okay? But really I need to still be kind of visual, okay? And make sure I'm combing this down and seeing that that all lives in her fringe section. Because just taking the slightest bit more or too much, where does this hair live? Over here on the side, okay? And have you seen this? And I'm not bagging on you if you're in here, where they might have a straight bang, but then that bang just comes like way over here at the ear. That's all yours is? I'm just gonna comb this straight forward, and I'm gonna show you guys some cool techniques cutting this fringe. What I'm gonna do is use the point in between her cheekbone and her jawline as a point of reference. Okay, I still want to keep this long. It's going to be kind of like a long side swept bang, okay, or fringe. I'm using that point as a point of reference. I'm using the whole length of my shear, so I'm going to open this pretty wide, and I'm going to use the whole length of my shear to just start talking and sliding the hair out. Okay, using the shear all the way, but just like talking the shear. Okay, and this is good practice too. When you're using your shears, make sure you're only using that moving blade. Okay? I'm not chomping down the hair. Okay? We're only moving that moving blade. We're cutting a nice short to longer length there. I'm going to pull it forward again. Now come in backhand, but still just talking the shear. What's our point of reference? Okay, in between the cheekbone and jawline. And I'm going to cut on this same, or excuse me, on this opposite side. Okay, shorter to longer. Okay, so in a sense we cut this in what? A V. So guess what this is called? A V bang. Ah, y'all smart. Okay, so pulling that whole fringe forward, and I'm just going to check it just to make sure it's nice and even. Okay, so cutting that into a V. So then, when she wants to, I always love doing cuts that they can switch it up, okay? I feel like this is an outfit. Your hair is an outfit. We don't like wearing the same outfits every day, do you? If you do, don't raise your hand. Okay, this is an outfit we can't take off. So how can we switch this outfit up to get different looks? I mean, unless it's a wig. Okay, so we cut this in a V, so then if she wears it this way, okay, it's going to fall shorter to longer, okay? And same thing on the opposite side. If she wears it this way, it's going to fall shorter to longer, okay? So now, she's with her boyfriend, she wears it one way, with her husband the other way, okay? Now even say we did the color, I'm thinking of the color the same way. How can I place this color? And we have a lot of different techniques in our videos. How can we place this color so that she can switch it up and wear her outfit different ways too? Okay? So she's partying one way, you know, she's going to church the other way, she don't want to be so loud. So now, just to blend our fringe, we're going to take diagonal back sections, okay, parallel to the hairline, okay, since the hairline is going diagonal back, we're going to over direct this forward just slightly, and then same thing, we're just sliding from that longest point down, just to kind of create some layers there. And I'm not closing my shear all the way, just moving that moving blade and just talking down the hair. Okay? Position 2. I'm standing right in front of the section I'm cutting. Okay? I have my knees bent. I'm in a nice stance. Okay? This is the money making stance. $200 a haircut. Okay? And this is $2 a haircut. or combing more than you cut. So it's important. Your clients know if you know how to cut hair. Okay? Ask Richard. Richard works at the salon. We're right next to each other. I just be showing off just for no reason. I'm a show off. Okay? But I just make sure my clients know I know how to cut some hair. Okay? Body position, it is really a performance, okay? And that's how you want to do it, because your clients know if you know how to cut hair. Okay, so I'm just taking this section, still working with diagonal back sections until I get on top of the ear. Okay, over directing that hair forward. Okay, and then just going in and then just sliding down that hair just to create some nice wispy soft layers here in the front. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Richard, what's cracking?
Set. And I kind of just brushed it out and kind of went with the texture. So when you take out sets, it depends on the curling iron that you curl with. It kind of just go with the texture of like how you curled it. So it's easy. Like all I did was just kind of rolled it and kind of placed it and kind of stood back to see what it looked like, and it created a cool little texture. So this is something that you would probably see on the runways or Fashion Week. We just did 4 shows this past week. So this is not one of the looks, but this could be a look for a fashion show.
And Richard's a really, really good stylist. He's a really good editorial stylist. Me and Richard are actually teaching an editorial styling class. You guys can get more information on the classes at Brenton Lee Salon, /education. Just a little more fun stuff that you might see in, some fashion magazines and stuff like that. And me and Richard also, we do a lot of photo shoots. We love shooting and just kind of messing around with different textures and playing with hairstyles. Okay, like we said, building hairstyles. Okay, so we just created some nice, soft wispiness around her face. So now here we go, cutting into the interior. We're going to leave her length, okay? So now I'm going to work with a vertical guide here, just right down the middle, okay? About 1 inch wide, all right? Okay, again, I pulled out my 7-inch shears because I want a lot of textures. Okay, I want a lot of textures. So what I'm doing is giving myself a lot of room, okay? And I'm about to establish a guide just pointing deep into the hair with our shears. Okay, so look at how much room I gave myself. How many inches is that? About like 2, okay, 2.5. And I'm using my 7-inch shears so I can really get up in there, okay? Really, I'm creating a really nice, soft line. Okay, I'm not going in and blunt cutting, and her hair is thick, and that's the reason why I decided to go in with this technique. Okay, so a few different things. I gave myself a lot of room to really cut deep into the hair. Again, I have nice shear control, just moving that moving blade. Okay, and I'm closing my shears on the way out. Okay, who's cut themselves? Don't lie. Everybody raise your hand. If you cut in the hair, you cut yourself. So, I cut myself 2 times yesterday. So just making sure you're giving yourself a good amount of room, and then this is a really, really good technique to know that you're closing the shears on the way out. Okay? So this is closing the shears on the way in. Okay? And this is closing the shears on the way out. Okay, it looks the same, right? Yeah. But what's the big difference? You won't cut yourself, okay? So when you're closing the shears on the way out, as long as you're doing that, you can go as fast as you won't cut yourself. Okay? So cutting deep into the hair, we want a really, really nice soft line. We got short pieces, long pieces, short pieces, long pieces, okay? So think of downtown. Okay, when you're looking at downtown, you see tall buildings, short buildings. So now I'm going to take a little bit of what I have cut with a little bit that I haven't cut. We're just going to leave her length, okay? Pulling that hair straight up, so boom. You guys see my guide? So I still gave myself a good 2 inches. Boom, cutting deep in there and just letting the hair fly. Okay? Okay, working towards that left ear first. Elevating that hair straight up. There's my guide. And cutting deep into the hair. And then look, it's just giving her a really, really soft feel to the hair. Who wouldn't you do it on?
Fine hair.
Fine hair, right? Okay? Because really what I'm doing, her hair is, she has a good amount of hair. I'm cutting out length and I'm cutting out weight at the same time. Okay? And creating a nice softness. So working towards that left ear, still following a traveling guide. Alright, I'm just leaving out her length. Okay, pulling the hair up, there's my guide. And look at my shear control too. You see that? Again, I'm not Just that moving blade is moving, and I'm closing it on the way out. Section behind the ear. Okay? Get into that section behind the left ear. What happens behind the ears? What happens? It's a lot less dense, right? Okay? So I want to keep that in mind, and how I'm going to compensate for that. I'm just going to over direct that hair back just slightly, but still up at the same elevation. Okay? And boom, there's my guide. Okay? Directing that hair back slightly, we're just compensating for that hair that's a lot less dense behind the ear. And we're going to do that going towards the right side as well. Richard, you finishing up?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Girl, you look good.
Does she look good, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
When you patch that thing. All right, cool. Richard, why don't you bring up your next model?
All right, cool.
Okay, everybody have a pen and a paper?
Yeah.
All right, get it out. I want you guys to take a couple of notes on a few different things too. I always love going over in classes. Okay? Either a pen or paper, your iPhone notes, whatever. Okay? All right, Richard, what you got? How did you do the set on your second girl?
1/4-inch barrel, and she had tons and tons and tons of hair, very heavy. So I felt like either I could have just gave her waves, or I could have gave her a chignon ponytail, and that's cool. I just kind of set her, and I took a section in the back since she had so much hair, and wrapped it around, and then I kind of placed the hair and set it, and so that's going to create the foundation for the faux bob. So now what I'm going to do is just take her down and create the faux bob so that she has the illusion of a bob.
I got to my section that's right behind the ear, over-directed it back and up, okay? And there's my guide. We're going to finish up on this left side. So now I'm on my sections on top of the ear, okay? I'm just going to pull that up. There's my guide, okay? So behind the ear we over-directed. Now I'm on top of the ear. I'm just pulling this straight up from where it lives, okay? And then marrying those sections. Now I get towards the hairline, I'm just going to slightly over-direct back towards that previous section, okay? There's nothing to cut, so don't look for something to cut, because we already cut some of that length off, right? Remember when we framed her face? Okay, so that's why there was really nothing to cut there. Okay, and as you can see, it just gave her some nice layers, okay, and some good shape. You look at it from a profile, okay, some really good softness in there. You really don't see any hard lines whatsoever if she just wears that down, okay? But we kept her wishes, kept her length, and then just gave her a little more movement and body into her hairstyle. All right, cool. Y'all give her a hand. Now, this is Merilyn. Everybody say, hey, Merilyn.
Hey, Merilyn.
Don't she look cute? So actually, that classic look is what we're going to do today on the hair too. Okay, just kind of like a classic kind of set. Deandra, you want to start taking this down for me? Okay, pen and paper. Everybody got it? Okay, write these down. Either write them down or think about them very hard and remember them. Alright, I always love going over these in classes. It doesn't matter if you've been in school for 2 months, you've been in the industry for years, I feel like these always apply to everybody in the hair industry. Alright? Okay, number 1, write down mentor. Put a little dash or hyphen, write down salon. Number 2, write down professional. Professional, write down, right after professional, put a dash or a hyphen, write down dress and look the part. Number 3, business cards. Promoting yourself. Promoting yourself. Number 4, customer service. Making sure y'all writing these down. Making sure you remembering this. No, just kidding. Customer service. And the second part of number 4 is attitudes. Number 5, education. 5 is competitions. So I wanted to do kind of like an old school 60s kind of set. Real Marilyn Monroe inspired, really soft waves. Okay? Everybody's doing like finger waves and pin curls. We're going straight back to that on this. I took a horizontal section behind the ear and I set everything pretty much horizontally. I used about an inch size iron. So what I did was, this first curl I set going towards the face. Meaning I put the curling iron in my left hand, which may seem awkward if we're right-handed, and just wrapped it going towards the face. So then working up horizontally, I took my next section. Now I have the curling iron in my right hand, and now for this one, I wrapped it away from the face. And so then after you wrap it, you're just going to take this, okay, turn that curl sideways, flat, and then just pin it right on the base, just like you're doing pin curls. Next section, guess where it went? Towards the face. So you're alternating towards the face, away from the face, towards the face. Now this was that deep part, okay, and we're going to have everything going that direction. So same thing on this side, towards the face, away from the face, towards the face, away from the face. And making sure our sections are nice and horizontal. So then what Deandra did in the back when she said it, we just took like horizontal sections and then did everything. We just had our curling iron just facing straight down and wrapped the iron just straight down. So all these curls are just going the same direction. Two things I'm using. I'm using Wella's Shine Spray. Okay, this is Shimmer Delight. And then I'm using Wella's Holding Spray. This is Stay Firm. Woo. Shimmer Delight and Stay Firm. I'm a Wella educator. I'm going to start by just spraying a little shine. Okay, I just really want a nice, sleek, shiny, wavy, 60s, sexy wave. Repeat that. So what does it do if we do our curls the same direction? You might ask.
What's going to happen?
Direction. Okay, cool. So I'm brushing it down. So since we did our curls the same direction, and she has some beautiful hair, right?
Yeah.
She has some beautiful hair. Look at it. It's just, once you brush it out, it's just going to give it just a soft wave. We're not doing curls this way, this way. We want everything to be kind of uniform, okay? So we brush everything in the same direction. Okay? Brushing this hair just straight down, just brushing it out. Okay? And you can start seeing it's just giving it a nice kind of wave. Alright? Okay, I really want this hair to look like fluffy. Okay? Like, fluffy like that. Like, okay? Just a really, really soft set. Now moving towards the front. This is the fun part. Okay, so our first curl went towards the face. Okay? So we're just going to start brushing this out. And what really makes this set is that you take a nice deep part. Because that's how it was parted, right? In the 60s. Don't ask me, I was born in the 80s. But I always refer back to stuff like that. It's actually really, really inspiring. So once you start brushing this out, you're going to start getting a little wave set in there. Who hated finger waves in school? Or who hates finger waves?
Skateboard.
Okay? I'm telling you, you're always going to go back to the basics. I'm telling you that. Okay? And then getting inspired too by those things. When I was in school, I hated perms and I hated pedicures. So then guess what happens? I get out of school, get my license, okay? And then I get a call. She's like, hey, do you still do perms? And I'm like, you know what I mean? But then I hated perms so much I wanted to throw my perm rods away, and I almost did. I'm glad I kept them, but then I still did a perm, okay, for her. And then what's crazy is, like, we're talking about like the latest trends and techniques is coming back. Texture is coming back, right? Yes. Even though we're not wrapping it on those little perm rods, but texture is coming back. Now there's a lot more updated versions of the perm. You guys know who Nicarajo is? Mm-hmm. Okay. Have you guys seen, he just came out with the American Wave? You guys heard of it? Yeah. Okay. It's an updated perm, pretty much. And he doesn't like to say perm, but it's pretty much like an updated chemical service to really get your hair a nice, different texture. Like people who come in and their hair is bone straight and they want a little texture. And it's amazing. And I was just like really interested, like how I hated something so much, but then it's like, oh my goodness, now trends and techniques are going back to texture. Okay? I mean, with the little small rods, it's just a little more updated. Okay, so now I'm going to just start getting inspired by what we just did. Okay? How we did finger waves, now you're going to actually start defining this like you're doing finger waves. Okay? And I hated finger waves too when I started, but my fingers was cramping up.
Yeah.
Alright? But now you're kind of going back to that, but this is just a little more of a modern way to do it. Not gel, just using heat. Okay? So right off of that deep part, I'm creating a nice C shape. Okay? And then really start defining. You guys see that? Start defining this wave in here. Okay? So I'm pinning there, really defining that there. Okay, pinning towards the face, so away from the face, towards the face. Okay. And now I'm pretty much just doing finger waves on dry hair. Okay, this is going away from the face. Okay, and you just take your time on this and really start defining a nice soft wave here. Okay, so if I was actually doing a photo shoot, I'd probably take a little more time and then just start defining that. Okay, so then we'll do the same thing on this opposite side. Start to brush this out. And really what lines these curls up to make it a nice wave is that we did our curl sections different ways. Okay, any questions? You really want to define that C shape just a little bit more, or that ridge there. You can put your iron in, okay, in your comb, and really just kind of define that just a little bit more. Okay, just going to clip here. So away from the face. We have one more. Being very, very careful setting this. Okay, this side is going towards the face. Okay, we'll pin that. Okay, away from the face. Wow. Okay, and then just start defining that wave there. Wow, look at that beautiful hair. Once you get this set, then we're going to spray it using the Stay Firm hairspray. Okay, but this is what you want to see, just a nice kind of classic wave there. Okay, pretty easy, right? Okay, it should be ready for a photograph. Oh, Richard, what do you got going?
So I finished setting her, taking her down, pinning her up. So I just created a bob look pretty much. So I'm going to just turn her around. I feel like this could be something, turn all the way around. If you have long hair and you're at work or something and then you have a date later,
Ooh.
you know what I mean? You can pin it up and then it becomes something sexy, soft. So that's the full bob for you.
Oh, y'all give her a hand. Alright, cool. Let's start going over those points. Mentor salon. Okay, anybody have somebody who they kind of look up to? It could be somebody who does hair, maybe your beauty school instructor. It doesn't have to be a hairstylist, maybe your pastor at your church. It could be your mom, your grandma. Somebody who you kind of look up to, keeps you inspired, keeps you going. Anybody? Who? Cool. Is she the reason why you got into doing hair? That's cool. Anybody else? Who? Your mom. Oh, mama. Ooh. Who?
Instructor.
Your instructor. That's cool. Who has any instructors in here? Any instructors in here? Do you have any students in here? Two really good mentors who I really looked up to. One was in the salon, one was educated. Okay, and I felt like those people, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today. Okay? But this is really how the industry works, is we learn from them, they're our mentors, and then we'll do the same thing and kind of pass the torch to who we're teaching. But there's always, always, always somebody out there who knows more than you. Whether it's cutting, color, business, just life in general. So always look for those kind of mentors who can help you out and keep you guided through your industry pretty much, or your goals in the industry. Does that make sense? Yes. Like to where you want to go. Salon. Anybody know where they want to work when they get out of school? Where you want to work?
For the
Cool. Anybody else? Where?
Your salon.
Cool. Alright. So while you guys are in school now, start looking for where you want to work. Don't wait until you get out of school. I knew exactly where I wanted to work as soon as I started school. And a few things that I looked for in salons was, do they offer education? I love doing a little bit of everything, so I was looking, are they diverse? Do they really run their business in a professional way? So start doing some research and start really seeing, do those salons do that? Really start positioning yourself and placing yourself to where you can grow. This is an amazing, amazing industry. You guys picked the best job in the world.
Professional.
Professional, dress and look the part. All right, who's a hairstylist in here or a cosmetologist? Everybody raise your hand. Okay, we are the leaders of the beauty industry. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know that? So that means hair, makeup, fashion, skin, nails, we're the leaders. So that means every single day we gotta look like we're a professional hairdresser. Does that make sense? We got a saying, okay, it goes like this. You can't make cheese, okay, or you can't make money, you can't make cheese if you look like a cracker. Every day we gotta look like professionals. Like, who's in school wearing uniforms? It doesn't matter. Make that uniform look good, creased up, okay, starch up, whatever. Makeup and hair always has to be done. We have to really start taking our industry to another level. We are the next generation. Everybody say next generation.
Next generation.
Okay? So we have to start taking our industry to that next level. So then what's point number 3?
Business cards.
Okay, so that goes straight to point number 3. If you're having your hair done, makeup done, we all need clients, right?
Yeah.
Clients pay our bills, our phone bills, mortgage, kids to college, what else? Who has a car payment? Car payment, rent. So if you don't have clients, you're not making money, right? Always have to be having business cards. Who has business cards? Who has a Facebook? Raise your hand. Everybody got Facebook. Okay? Always, always, always promoting yourself. And how a good way to promote yourself is looking like a professional. You won't look at me and think I do hair, right? I look like a R&B singer. A dancer. And this is the reason why I always keep these shears on my neck. Okay, these are my little talking points. When they see it, they're like, oh, you must do hair. I'm like, oh, yes, I do. Where's my cards? Always passing out your cards. So that means when you're at McDonald's and they give you a cheeseburger, give them a card. What's point number 4?
Customer service.
Customer service. That is 80% of our business. How many hair salons are within a block radius? Have you guys ever looked at that?
Yeah.
There's too many, right? There's 18 million hair salons in this world. Too many. In LA, in some places in LA, it's banned from opening any more salons. You guys know that?
No.
It's crazy. What's going to set you apart, I'm talking about now and when you guys go from all those other hair salons? Customer service. How you treat your clients, not making them wait, giving them coffee, tea, Kool-Aid, whatever you do. And we're huge on customer service at our salon. We never have our clients waiting and making sure we're really taking care of them. What's point number 5? Okay, education. It's all about education, you guys. So just how you guys are here at classes, go to a million other classes. Stay at a lot of different haircutting classes, makeup classes. Always, always educate yourself. This industry is always changing, right? Always changing. Whatever's in now might not be in next week. So I commend you guys for staying at classes. Stay inspired. Look at the latest trends, techniques, okay? I feel like cut and color, disconnected haircuts, panel color, I feel like that stuff is in right now, so that's what I love to teach. Competitions. Get into competitions. I feel like that's when I got a lot of my education. A lot. Is it tough right now going to school? Kinda? Anybody have kids and it's hard and just waking up in the morning? Stick with it. You can do anything in this industry. I remember going to school and I was taking 3 buses to get to school every day. I lived all the way in El Monte and I was trying to get to downtown and I went to school at Trade Tech in downtown LA. But I look back now and it went by so fast. I worked my butt off and it just all paid off, I felt like, at the end of the day. So just to recap, this is the Lego collection we have. It features 3 models, 3 different cuts, 3 colors, a short, medium, and a long look. Razor cutting, shears, texturizing shears, a little bit of everything. Okay, so if you guys are interested in more cutting and coloring, this is the DVD to get. $25, 3 cuts, 3 colors from start to finish, nothing left out. Okay, and then also comes with a t-shirt if you purchase the DVD for $25. What I did was I took this DVD and broke it down. So if you want to learn like a short pixie haircut and color, you can get that one. It's here. Alright? These are $10. Now,
What's slower? Like soft, like it kind of like very soft. Okay. One more. 1, 2, 3.
3, 1, 2, 3, Gucci.